What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of La Liga Career Mode. This is episode number 19, and we started today's episode on the back of our first win of the season over Almeria, newly promoted by 4-0. First clean sheet of the season as well. Won't have many more of those, but even so, nice to get it. Rashida's injury in that game was just a knock. We also saw that Arezzo is going to go out on loan, and also Pablo Rodriguez is probably going to go back to Italy and join Sampdoria on a short-term loan in January as well. You'll notice to start the season off, we've loaned out a lot of players, and Arezzo and Rodriguez's loans, they will go through in January as soon as the window opens, and they'll be for the rest of the season at Getafe and Sampdoria as well. But it's a really good thing that I'm able to loan players out more now, because if you remember in FIFA Career Mode, it used to be so hard to not only just get loan offers, but even convince the player to go out on loan. But now, it is a bit simpler to loan your players out, and that's a good thing too, because it's much more realistic, and you get more out of your players being out on loan playing first team football than stuck in your reserves. Having said that, I don't know how much of that is true, really, because, theoretically, a player going out on loan and getting more first team football should, in theory, develop quicker with more game time at a different club. But, in FIFA Career Mode, I'm not actually sure the science behind that. I'm not sure the science behind that, really, and whether it does actually make much of a difference or not. Even so, I prefer to loan them out anyway, for the realism, if nothing else. Still, for the first game of today's episode, Real Sociedad away. Big game here, just beat Almeria, but that was only our first win of the season. Now, looking for our first away day victory. What a start. Darwin gets his second in 2, opens the scoring, and then the kid does this. 18 minutes in, the Wonder Kid is doing it once again, wowing the fans and showing why he's the best prospect in Spanish football. Matty Ryan, the Aussie, has no idea what to do with that. The ball sails over his head, drops out of the sky, went up so high in the air, came down with snow on it, and it's 2-0 Granada. He set up the first for Darwin and scores our second. The kid has started this season off on fire. And for those curious as well, as Santiago Calderon should have had his first goal for the club, but fires this shot wide here. For those curious, I've been talking about VR, and you do believe, surely at some point during the course of this save, if not this season, then maybe next season or season afterwards, he'll probably break the assist record. He won the assist title last year, playing 18 games. That's ludicrous, but true. For those curious, the assist record in La Liga was set by Lionel Messi, shot caller, a couple of years ago, or 3 years ago, actually, I think it was now, for Barcelona, with 21. Staggering number of assists in one single 38-game season. But if anyone can beat it, it's Antonio Villar. His creativity is unmatched. We know he's mainly known for setting the goals up, but his, I think, second of the season was just absolutely glorious. No, third of the season, I think it was now, as he made it 2-0. Sociedad would get a late goal back, but fortunately it was all it proved to be. We held on for the 3 points, so did lose back-to-back clean sheets, but let's be honest here, back-to-back clean sheets and Granada don't go in the same sentence, but we'll take the victory. Really even game. Sociedad had a whole host of chances, particularly towards the end of the game. Maximiano made a couple of great saves, but Antonio's goal and assist in the first half an hour ensured we would get the win. 5 assists in 3 goals in 5 games for VR, up to 74 overall now, just 17 years old. Now you'll notice I've changed his development plan back to balanced. He's got the 5-star. For a while I put him on support winger to get high defensive work rates. I love wide players with high work rates, but at the moment, whilst balanced, will take longer for him to grow another rating. I want to keep it on that, because his defence right now isn't the best. He doesn't have much strength. He can't jump. I mean, he's not a tall lad anyway, but still. And whilst you'd think about those stats there, not a great jumper, not the strongest, defensively not the best, you'd think as a left winger that primarily plays as an inverted winger / inside forward in this team, there's not much need to get those stats improved. But to me, I mean, VR started the season off 3 goals and 5 assists in 5 games. I want to make him as complete as I possibly can. So whilst it will take longer for him to grow another rating in the balance section, it would improve some of his, what you'd call more unconventional or unnecessary. Is unnecessary the right word? Not too sure. But stats that aren't as important as others. I still want to see his defense increase a little bit, because, we can't defend in this Granada team. So having a winger that can also track back and help on defense too is important. And also, again, improve the low strength and the jumping as well. Still, for the second game of today's episode, man, this was an interesting one. Back home, looking for our third straight win. Cadiz taking them on. We fell behind very early on, but 7 minutes before the break, we were back on level terms. Darwin, what hustle from our Venezuelan winger. Runs through one-on-one, but sweats it across for Suarez as our number 9 gets the leveller. Back on level terms, we thank the Colombian for that. How many times we said that throughout the course of this series. But it was such a scrappy game, this one. I mean, seriously, it really was awful. I mean, back-to-back wins, only one defeat to start the season off. Pretty good beginning for Granada, but goodness gracious, this was just a mess, this game. You know those games of FIFA where it's just horrible to play. It really is. This was just one of those games. I mean, the defense was horrible. Both goals could have been prevented. The passing was shambolic. I mean, it was an absolutely atrocious game. And I was thinking, the fans turned up to this thinking, are we watching La Liga or amateur football? Because this is embarrassing. With 19 minutes to go, right on cue. Well, let's just say this was a game where it came down to who would make fewer mistakes. And in the end, fortunately, that proved to be us. Cadiz once again gifted us a goal with 90 minutes to go. Shocking pass, we intercept, and Suarez says thanks to Rashina for laying the ball off to him. 2 on the final score, but such a scrappy game, this one series. Yes, our XG was higher. Yes, we had some more shots, but really, I didn't play well in this game, and I was bailed out by 2 mistakes from Cadiz's back line, and their goal came from one of my mistakes as well. It was just a really, really poor game. It was so funny as well, because, you know, the AI on Ultimate are normally flawless, regardless of what level you're playing at. They barely make mistakes, but every now and then, it's like a glitch in the system, isn't it? You know, they just start to think, how do we play football? You know, it was so funny, but hey, listen, we got the win. And it's 3 straight wins for Granada. Yep, excellent start to the season for the boys right now, but heading into the following game, this will be a big one. Sevilla away in the beautiful city of Seville, taking on Julian Lopetegu's side, the most successful team in Europa League history. And as for La Liga, well, 27 minutes into this clash here, we fell behind. Lucas Ocampo scored the opener, but that wasn't what I was most concerned about. A fantastic start for Darwin this season, 2 goals and an assist in his last 3 games, but you would have seen in that passage of play, tackle, taken down, stayed down and forced off on the stretcher. Sevilla, well within their rights to play on. Referee didn't stop the player with his whistle, so well within their rights to get the goal there. Not going to complain about it, but frustrating knowing that Darwin went down. And as I mentioned before, sometimes I just know how bad an injury is going to be, and I knew that was going to be a serious one. But right before the break, as we were down by a goal, hadn't played very well in the first half. We were bailed out and found our leveller. Luis Mia's second of the season, scored at the Burnabout and our scores in Seville. Lovely flick on by Calderon as well to nod it back to him, back post, and Mia squeezes it home at the near post to make it 1-1. How Calderon didn't get credit with the assist there, I do not know. But it's 1-1. We are back on level terms, and in 2 minutes after the restart, oh yes, Luis Javier says to Antonio, anything you can do, I can do better. But I think Antonio's was better, to be honest. Even so, Sorrow off the bench for Darwin with the through ball. Luis Javier puts us in front for the first time in the game with 90 minutes to go, I'll be honest here. Trying to time waste a little bit, see the game out. I saw a little gap, worked the ball inside. And with 18 minutes on the clock in Seville, talk about responding to adversity. We lose our highest rated player to a serious injury in the early stages and go a goal down in the same passage of play. What a turnaround. Mia right before the break, Suarez right after the break, and 18 minutes on the clock. Our number 9 bags a brace. Final score, Sevilla 1, Granada 3, and Granada's run continues. 5 games without a loss, 3 straight wins. It's all clicking for Granada right now. And that's why, directly after the game, we saw this. It's FIFA career mode. You can't have too much of a good thing. Darwin, ACL, 7 months. Season over. Gutted. 2 goals and 3 assists in 7 games for Darwin. 29 years old, up to 82 overall, and the highest rated player in the team. He's got a 5-star week for high medium work rate. He's absolutely rapid, this guy. When he gets going, forget about it. And that's a huge blow. What's going to happen is Azuni's going to come in and play in the first 11. For a split second, I was tempted to push Sugawara up to right wing because, you know, defensively he's not that great, but going forward he's much better. But but instead, I am going to do a straight swap. Azuni, the Albanian, coming into the starting 11, and Sorrow will go on the bench. But that's a huge blow, man. But it's FIFA career mode, man. Like, seriously, and I said it before, it's one of the reasons why I love this FIFA this year. It's much more challenging than before. Even when you're rolling, even when you're clicking, even when things are going your way, you're still only a game away from something very damaging happening to your season, and that's what we got there. Darwin done for the campaign. We won't see him again this season. ACL. That's a huge blow for our best rated player in this team. So, following that, Granada right now, 4 straight wins, are in a European place. But there's a long way to go, of course, so not taking anything for granted right now. October's fixtures come here. We've got some favourable fixtures this month as well. Getafe, Celta Vigo, Elche, newly promoted Valladolid. We got some favourable fixtures coming this month. So after a really good run with 3 straight wins, this is the time now for Granada, I feel, to start this campaign off. You know, we had a tough beginning with 3 very difficult games. We came through that, picking up back-to-back draws at the Metropolitano and the Bernabeu as well. This is the time now, if we are going to be a European team come the end of the season, and Lord knows, we've got the quality and the belief and the youngsters in this team to get us there. These are the games, this is the time we've got to keep our form going. We have to keep our winning run going, extend it for as long as we can. And if we can do that, we can get ourselves some separation on the teams below us in mid-table. So for our 4th and final game, first one of October, nice streak for Granada. We've just lost Darwin. How are we going to respond? Losing our highest rated player? Well, how about taking the lead 4 minutes in? And this guy right now is on fire. Luis Mia's 3rd of the season already makes it 1-0. Yet another assist for Antonio. Put it on the board, and then 13 minutes in, Azuni says, Gaffer, I know you're worried, but don't be. I can step in and fill in for Darwin and bang in the goals in his place. The Albanian, nowhere near as good as Darwin. No one's going to deny that. But if you could just give me a few goals this season, a few goals and a few assists, I'm not asking for him to bang 20 in this year, but if you can step in for Darwin and get me 4 or 5 goals, and a few assists as well, I'll take it from Azuni. But there's his first in his standing game. It's 2-0 Granada and a perfect first half. Wasn't the best of games this one though, really. You know, not the best of games at all. Just like the Cadiz game, really. Pretty scrappy, in all honesty. Not really that many clear-cut chances getting created. Borja Iglesias would put Celta Vigo back in the game 5 minutes after the restart, but thankfully, there wasn't really much going on, from being honest. In the end, the 3 best chances all resulted in goals. And in the end, we got 2, Celta Vigo got 1. You do the math, that means we won. Yeah, final score, 2-1 Granada. And it is now 4 straight wins for the boys. Dominated possession. I'll be honest, once Celta Vigo got that goal back, I just passed the ball around, really made sure we conserved energy and got the 3 points. And we go away into the international break here in mid-October with Granada right now losing Darwin for the season, but standing up to the challenge. 8 games, 1 defeat, 5 wins, joint second highest scorers, and 17 points on the board in 4th place. There's a long way to go. We're only 1 point clear of Levante in 8th. There's a long way to go, but it's been a dream start for Granada. Question is, how long can we keep it going? But that will end today's episode of La Liga Career Mode, guys. Big thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't, please drop a like. Most love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of La Liga Career Mode very soon.